Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Fields in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under Division Summer Baseball Contest between the visitors of Ayer-Shirley and hosting Brookline. Starting a little late today. Initially, we were slated for a 5:45 p.m. start time. We had a little bit of a logistical trouble as Ayer-Shirley was struggling to get enough players together. It looks like they got about 8, but apparently the game can still be played with 8, and so that's what we're going to do. We're getting things started. You know, no real pregame situation here as we got to jump right in. Sheehan on the mound for Brookline, and his first pitch is fouled off for strike 1. Brookline coming off a tough 7-5 comeback loss to Newton yesterday in Newton. Those of you who watched my live stream of that know that that was a tough one. Back and forth contest. Started out as a pitcher's duel, and then both sides kind of lost control. Issued a bunch of walks, and I think a 9th player just walked in for Ayer-Shirley, so we won't even have to worry about the crazy logistics of an 8-player game, as I do believe Ayer-Shirley now has a full 9. So we're good to go, and we're going to play this game out like normal. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 3 as Sheehan gets the first batter down on strikes. I wasn't able to get the Ayer-Shirley roster as I wasn't even sure if they were going to get the full roster together in time. So I'm going to try and follow along on Game Changer as best I can. All right, number 1 appears to be A. Torres, who just struck out. And that one, I believe, was strike 1. Going to be a little chaotic here at the start, as that's a swing and a miss there for strike 2. Now at the plate is V. Takudo. That one's going to be low. I believe the count is 1-2 here. And it's a hard bouncer up the third base line. That's a fair ball going deep into left field. Takudo rounding first, headed down to second with a stand-up 1-out double. Takudo, who I think is actually number 87, I'm not entirely sure, but he gets a double there. Let me take a look. Is that a... No, that's a 2. That's not an 8. That's 27. A little more common baseball number there. So 1 out, a runner at second. Now at the plate is C. Hudson. First pitch in there, strike 1. Sheehan throwing efficiently here to start, has not missed. I think he's only missed the strike zone twice so far to start this one. And a delayed swing, a hard bouncer to short, fielded well, and they're going for the pickoff at second. Savvy move by the veteran shortstop Keenan Sawada as he throws it to Leo Van Koski, making his Lou Tompkins 18 and under debut at second base. Smart play there to get the lead runner, and they go from 1 out runner at second to 2 outs, runner at first. Great trade-off there. Hudson stands at first. Now at the plate is A. Carpentier. That one's high and gets away from the catcher. Delayed takeoff from Hudson, but he is going to take second base on the wild pitch there. 2 outs. Runner at second now. One and 0 the count to Carpentier as the catcher, Max Mnookin, playing his first game for the Lou Tompkins 18 and under team here today. Resets. Sheehan almost got the pick off there, but no one was covering as Hudson gets back. Swing and a miss. Fastball blows right by him. Strike one. That one catches the outside corner. Well-placed fastball from Sheehan there. 1-2 the count. Ayer-Shirley, I believe, is a new team here in the league this year, so no history from last year I can summarize. As that one skips in the dirt, well collected by Mnookin to prevent Hudson from advancing to third. 2-2 now the count to Carpentier. Swing and a miss. Another well-placed fastball, as I think Sheehan went to the inside corner that time. Blows it by him for his second strikeout of the day. We move to the bottom of the first now with no score. And now that we have a moment, let's go through the starting lineup for Brookline today. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, we saw him starting on the mound in the top half of the inning, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Batting third, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 0, Max Mnookin. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Head coach of the Brookline Lou Tompkins 18 and under baseball team is John Busey. So it'll be the top of the Brookline order coming up against the Ayer-Shirley pitcher number 15. Remember, folks, if there's anything you'd like to say throughout this live stream, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. Or if you're not able to access, or if you're not comfortable using YouTube's live chat system, you can always send me an email. You can see my email down in the bottom right corner of your screen. All right, the warm-ups have concluded. Now stepping to the plate for Brookline, the shortstop, number 17, Keenan Sawada. You can see Sawada's stats for this season so far in the bottom middle of your screen. Obviously only one game to account for so far, and that was yesterday's game against Newton. And in that game, Sawada went 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a stolen base. First pitch lays down a bunt up the third base side, juggled by the pitcher, and Sawada is going to reach with ease. That bunt might not have been to the exact place he wanted, but the pitcher juggled it when moving to his right, and Sawada, with his great speed, able to take advantage easily. So Sawada at first off of what I would personally score as an E1, but might be scored as a hit. We'll see. In the meantime, at the plate now, the pitcher, number 7, Ayer-Shirley. Sheehan takes strike one to the outside corner. Went 1 for 4 at the plate yesterday in Newton. Now hoping to help out his own cause here as the starting pitcher. And he loops one out to right center. That's going to drop in easily for a base hit. Sawada going to hold at second, as the center fielder Torres rifles it down to third to hold the lead runner. But back-to-back runners reach for Brookline as Ayer-Shirley with a single to right center. First and second with nobody out. Now coming up the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Klein went 0 for 4 with a run scored yesterday, as that pitch is going to get away, and both runners are going to take advantage in advance. I think we can score that one a passed ball. That just kind of popped out of the catcher's glove rather than being a wild pitch, but I might double check that with Game Changer. Yeah, it looks like they scored it a pass ball as well. High ball 2. Interestingly enough, Brookline scored 5 runs yesterday, none of them on an RBI hit, 2 bases loaded walks, and 3 runs scored off of throwing errors. So Brookline has yet to get their first RBI hit of the summer, as that pitch going to miss low and in for ball 3. But with runners at second and third and nobody out, they are in prime position this inning to get their first RBI hit. That one does hit the zone. Klein takes all the way for strike 1. But that's going to be a high ball 4, and it'll be a free pass for Noah Klein as Brookline loads the bases to start. And with the bases juiced and nobody out, up comes the cleanup hitter, the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Liu went 2 for 4 at the plate yesterday as he takes a high outside ball 1 there. Led the team in hits, but could not help them score in any way. Hoping to produce something here as that one almost gets away, barely collected by the catcher DeCudo off the high pitch from the Ayer-Shirley starting pitcher, number 15, Carpentier. That one low, and it briefly gets away. Runners thought about it, but it rolls away too slow. But now a 3-ball count to Jonathan Liu. Might get his first RBI with the Lou Tompkins 18 and under team off a bases-loaded walk if he draws just one more ball. That one is going to hit the zone. 3-1 the count to Liu. And that's going to be a low ball 4. So Brookline's first run of the day will come from a bases-loaded walk as Jonathan Liu picks up his first walk and first RBI as a member of the Lou Tompkins 18 and under squad. Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. First pitch inside, ball 1. Kaufman yesterday 1 for 2 with a walk, a hit by pitch, 2 stolen bases, and 1 run scored. He's hoping to add to that offensive production here in this moment as he lines one into center. That's going to bring in at least 1 as they rifle it back home to hold it to 1 run despite the throw briefly getting away. Max Kaufman with Brookline's first RBI hit of the summer. He drives in Mayfield-Sheehan for run number 2 for Brookline. Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Carballo had just 1 plate appearance yesterday as a pinch hitter. Laid down a sacrifice bunt, reached safely thanks to a fielder's choice and a throwing error. And then later came in to score. Now staring down a 2-0 count with the bases still loaded and still nobody out for Brookline. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Kaufman at first, Lou at second, Klein at third. Brookline already leading by 2. As it looks like that one missed. Inside for ball 3, Carballo able to check his swing. Three and 1 the count. Swing and a miss. Might have tipped that one actually, but tipped into the catcher's glove. Full count now to Tony Carballo. Slice that one foul, and it's going to go over the fence behind home plate as Carballo stays alive. Swing and a miss, and Carballo goes down on strikes. Big first out get for Carpentier and Ayer-Shirley. And now making his first plate appearance with the Lou Tompkins 18 and under team, the second baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski. Takes an outside ball 1. Of course, Leo Vankowski, the younger brother of former Lou Tompkins member Rocky Vankowski. Happy to see the Vankowski name back on the Brookline roster as he takes a high ball 2 here. Was part of a nice savvy play with Keenan Sawada catching the lead runner on a grounder in the top half of the inning as he takes a high ball 3 here. 1 ball away from a bases-loaded walk in his first plate appearance as a member of this Lou Tompkins 18 and under Brookline squad. And he's going to take a high ball 4, and that will be a 4-pitch walk for Leo Vankowski as another bases-loaded walk. Brings in Noah Klein for Brookline's 3rd run of the day. Now another player making his first plate appearance as a member of this Brookline 18U squad, the catcher, number 0, Max Minukin. First pitch, he hits a grounder over to third. They're going to go home with it, and the throw is not collected, and that throw sails wild. Everybody is safe, and 2 runs are going to come in. Possibly 3 runs are going to come in for Brookline in the chaos here. Max Minukin grounds into a fielder's choice, but then goes down to second on the E2. Jonathan Liu comes in on the E5 on the as the throw from the third baseman home did not reach there. Max Kaufman and Leo Vankowski come in on the E2 as the throw from the catcher sailed or skipped past the first baseman, went all the way out to right field. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Mnookin, the catcher, although I can't quite see the number. Oh, wait. Oh, I almost saw it. Either way, now at the plate is the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Hellendrung made a brief appearance in the field yesterday, but this is his first plate appearance with this Brookline 18U team. As he takes a high ball 1. That one going to catch the outside corner, strike 1. Looks like the courtesy runner is number 27, Jonah Cohen. So Cohen at second, 1 out, 2-1, the count to Hellendrung. Hits a bouncer up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, thrown to first in time for out number 2. Well fielded at short by Meneses, number 31. And Brookline has now hit around the order as they cycle back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 17, Keenan Sawada. That one comes in high for ball 1. Carpentier struggling with those high balls here in the first inning. Cohen standing at third, advanced on the ground out by Hellendrung, as that one also comes in high for ball 2. Sawada started off the inning with a first pitch bunt as Carpentier tried the pickoff there. And Sawada reached on what I would score as a fielding error by the pitcher. Later came in to score the first of what is so far 6 runs in this inning for Brookline as he takes a low ball 3 there. 1 ball away from reaching first for the second time this inning. And that is what's going to happen as that throw gets away, but doesn't bounce far away enough for Cohen to feel comfortable racing to the plate. He's going to hold for the moment. And Brookline in a prime position to move along the base paths with runners at the corners here. Back to the plate is the pitcher, number 7, Ayer-Shirley. Got a single his first time up this inning, later came in to score. Sawada dancing off the bag, and Carpentier throws back to first, but Sawada gets back safely. And Carpentier steps off the mound, checks on both bases, does not make a throw. He knows it's a prime situation for the runners to move. Sawada does take off on the first pitch. They fake the throw down to second. I think that first pitch was a strike, but I'm not sure. But either way, Sawada will take second base. So second and third now with 2 down. And Sheehan lines one past the third baseman. That's fair up the left field line. Sawada racing around third. 2 runs come in for Brookline, but they caught Sheehan in a pickle between first and second. Racing back to first. And oh, he slides in safe. Just avoids the glove there of the first baseman, Tosi. And Ayer-Shirley with his second single of the inning. This one for 2 RBI. Cohen and Sawada both in to score on that one. It looked like Sheehan got jammed inside, but was out in front of the pitch enough to send it up the third base line, just barely fair. Get his second hit of the inning. and easily drive in Cohen and Sawada. Now batting, once again, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. He golfs one out to right. That's going to drop in and skip past the right fielder, and they're going to get to stretch this one out for extra bases. Noah Klein into second with what I imagine will be scored as a double, as I don't think you can score that in error. The right fielder just wasn't fast enough to get to it. And so depending on how the scorekeepers score that one, I do believe that'll be the first extra base hit of the summer for Brookline, as runners now at second and third for Jonathan Liu, as he's going to take ball one high and outside there. And indeed, they did score that one a double, and I concur with that. Big swing and a miss there, strike one. Jonathan Liu, his last time up this inning, got a bases-loaded walk to drive in the first run of the game for Brookline. That one skips in the dirt for ball two, well covered by DeCudo behind the plate there. Liu came in to score on an erroneous throw home on a grounder to third. Now he's trying to bring in some more runs here, potentially with a base hit. Oh, but that one, kind of a brush back. And it'll be ball three, a 3-1 hitter's count here. Liu might get his second free pass of the inning, which would reload the bases for Brookline here. A base hit could potentially push Brookline to a double-digit lead. Fouled off, strike two. And a swing from Liu, loops it out to right, drops in front of the right fielder, and two more runs are going to come in. Sheehan and Klein both in to score. Jonathan Liu with 3 RBIs this inning as he drops in the 2-run single there. Brookline now up 10-0 here in the bottom of the first inning, as up comes the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. First pitch inside, ball one. Kaufman, his last time up, got an RBI single, Brookline's first RBI base hit of this 2025 summer season. Since then, they've gotten 2 more RBI hits from Ayer-Shearley and Jonathan Liu, as Liu himself dives back on the pickoff attempt there. 1-0 the count to Kaufman. Runner at first, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. That one is low for ball 2. Important to note, there is a mercy rule in this Lou Tompkins League. That mercy rule is that if you have a lead of 10 runs or more at the end of 5 innings, the game is over. That one going to catch the outside corner for strike one. So Brookline has already reached the run margin necessary for a mercy rule, but still need to play a few more innings and hold on to a double-digit lead if they want to get the mercy rule win. 3-1 now the count to Kaufman. Swing and a miss there, and we got a full count. That one hits the zone, and Kaufman down on strikes. And that finally brings the first inning to an end. But what an explosive first inning it was for Brookline. Our score at the end of 1, Brookline 10, Ayer-Shirley 0. We got our first note in the live chat from one of our baseball grandmas, Barbara Jo Metzger, saying, "Go Brookline again," from Grandma in Buffalo, New York. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, Barbara. There's been obviously plenty to enjoy so far in that first inning for any and all Brookline fans. And we'll see how they follow it up here in the second inning. All right, here we go. Start of the second inning. First ball is dropped up the third base line. Foul for strike one. At the plate for Ayer-Shirley is number 16. Just waiting to see a name on Game Changer, but for now, 0-1 the count. And now 0-2 the count as Mayfield-Sheehan blows that one by him. This is G. Logan at the plate, as that one pops out of the glove, but was inside for ball one. So not a dropped third strike. And he hits a high bouncer over to second. Oh, it's booted off the high bounce, picked up, but the throw to first not in time, as Logan will reach on what I would score as an E4. The scorekeeper for the summer team might be a little more generous on Game Changer. No, actually also scored that as a reach on error. It was far from a strike one as they reconnect. Sorry about that, folks. I think that was because I got a spam call on my phone, disrupted the connection. Swing and a miss there for strike two, as at the plate is the shortstop, number 31, Meneses. Swing and a miss there, and that'll be strike three. Meneses down on strikes. One out here, runner at first. Up comes the first baseman, number 3, Tosi. Takes strike one. That pitch inside, brushes him back, ball one. 10-0, Brookline leads here in the top of the second. One out, runner at first. That one low for ball two. That pitch drops low, ball three. Sheehan has not issued a walk yet today, but one ball away from doing it here. Swing and a miss there as it briefly pops out of the glove, recovered by Mnookin, and that'll be strike two. So a full count here to Tosi. But that one low and in. Sheehan couldn't keep the fastballs high enough, and Tosi gets a free trot down to first. Now at the plate is the left fielder, Ayer-Shirley. Takes a low ball one. Sheehan has got to get some more height on those pitches as he has been struggling with that, but now overcompensates with that pitch for a high ball too. Runners at first and second with one out. A very comfortable lead for Brookline, but they still got to hold on to it. Swing and a miss there for strike one. That one skips in the dirt, briefly gets away, but not far enough for a full wild pitch, and that's going to be a 3-1 count. Second straight batter to get a 3-ball count against Sheehan here in the top of the second. And he misses that one high. That is ball four. Free pass down to first for Carvalho. And the base is now loaded for the right fielder, Hebert. First pitch in there for strike one. That one misses low. Sheehan struggling with his control, having issued back-to-back walks to Tosi and Carvalho. That one in there, strike two. 1-2 the count. Sheehan trying to bounce back on the mound here. And gets a big strike three for out number two. And now we've got, I think, another batter at the plate. This is a second number 15. It's not Carpentier, as that first pitch going to hit the zone for strike one. It is G. Cotter. Swing and a miss there for the Ayer-Shirley extra hitter, as they've now got 5 guys. Or not 5, 10, my goodness, multiply by 2. 10 players now. At one point they were worried about getting a full 9. And now Brookline has got strike 3 and out number 3 as Caden Sheehan bounces back nicely after giving up back-to-back. Sheehan and the Brookline defense ran into a brief bit of hot water there in the top of the second, but rebounded nicely. He's got some more randomly dropped frames there. That was strange. It's been a strange day here to start, but I think we're settling into a rhythm here, and Brookline's certainly in rhythm at this moment, with a comfy 10-0 lead. And I think we're going to see a new pitcher for Ayer-Shirley. And indeed, number 1, Torres, taking over on the mound in place of Carpentier. Both teams 0-1 in the record books coming into this one. Brookline, as I mentioned before, the close 7-5 loss yesterday to Newton. Ayer-Shirley lost 10-1 to Jamaica Plain in their season opener. Due up for Brookline after their explosive first inning. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Carballo, Vankoski, and Minukin. So stepping back up to the plate for Brookline, the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. First pitch comes in high for ball 1. Torres, the new man on the mound for Ayer-Shirley. Carpentier swaps with him 1-for-1 as he moves out to center field to take Torres' former spot, as that one comes in high for ball 2. And then Cotter, the 10th player to arrive for Ayer-Shirley, has subbed in for Hebert in right field. Carballo fouls off that one as it was starting to dip into the zone. Strike 1. That one in the zone. Strike 2. And that's going to be a high ball 3. Full count here to Carballo. And it's going to be a high ball 4. Carballo, who went down on strikes his first time up, now gets a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the second. Now batting the second baseman, number 18, Leo Vankoski, as he takes strike 1. Vankoski drew a bases-loaded walk his last time up. Later came in to score on a throwing error as he takes strike 2. Torres starting to find the zone a little more efficiently after giving up the leadoff walk. Ahead in the count here, 0-2. And Vankoski loops one out to right, caught by Cotter, slips and falls, tries to get the throw back to first, cannot get it in time. Well caught out in right by Cotter, but couldn't quite keep his footing and follow through on the potential double play at first. It'll be 1 out. Decent contact by Vankowski, just hung in the air a little bit too long. And Ayer-Shirley now with a faster player out in right field to cover that space. As Torres checks on Carballo at first, now stares in at the batter, the catcher number 0, Max Mnookin, as he throws in a high ball 1. Mnookin, his last time up, grounded into that crazy play, which initially looked like it was going to be a fielder's choice at home, but then turned into a pair of throwing errors that allowed 3 runs to come in. So while technically 0 for 1 on the scorebook today, did technically take part in a play that brought in 3 runs for Brookline. Pops this one up, being tracked over at third and caught by Logan for out number 2. The Ayer-Shirley defense starting to settle in now, as up comes the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Hellendrung grounded out to short his last time up. Takes strike 1 there. Torres finding the strike zone pretty efficiently as this inning has gone on. Gave up the leadoff walk to Carballo, but since then, he's been throwing mostly strikes here, although he misses that one high for ball 1. Carballo's been dancing off the bag, but has not taken off for second so far. As that one's going to skip away, but off a hard ricochet, Carballo hesitates and decides to hold at first. You know, I think that's a bit of a teachable moment. When you're at first base and you see the ball get by the catcher, go. It's such a far throw down to second that odds are, even if it's not an ideal ricochet, you're still going to make it. Hellendrung fouls that one to the backstop for strike 2. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Runner at first here in the bottom of the second. That one comes in low, and we've got a full count here, mirroring Carballo's plate appearance to start the inning. And that's going to be a high ball 4. And another teachable moment there on the base pads, because when it's full count and 2 outs, you take off for the next base on the pitch, because it's either a walk, a strikeout, a foul ball, or a ball in play. Either way, you're not wrong to be taking off. But it ends up being a walk, so it matters little. 2 runners on, and now at the plate, taking strike 1 there, the shortstop, number 17, Keenan Sawada. That one low and in, ball 1. Sawada, by my count, 0 for 1 with a walk, a reach on error, a steal, and 2 runs scored from that first inning, as he takes high ball 2 that time. And that one hits the inside corner for strike 2. Sawada either trying to lean into it or trying to pull back to draw a ball call. Did not happen. 2-2 the count. Ooh, that one hits him. Sawada draws the hit by pitch to load the bases. Sawada had a team-leading 6 hit-by pitches last summer. And now here in this summer, he has already got 2. So bases juiced here with 2 outs for the pitcher, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. At first pitch, he hits a slow roller to third. They're going to pick it up, tag third for the third out, and that will end the inning. So Sheehan cannot go 3 for 3 and add to his RBI count. Instead, grounds into the fielder's choice to end the inning. No score from either side in the second frame. At the end of 2, the score, Brookline 10, Ayer-Shirley 0. And it'll be the top of the Ayer-Shirley order coming up. Torres, DeCudo, and Hudson. We're already about an hour into this contest, and you can see why, or part of why, you have the mercy rule in place. You know, not just to, like, you know, spare, you know, teams the potential, you know, indignity of continuing to play when they're getting killed, but also just for the sake of time, because there's no clock in baseball. You know, if you keep scoring, then the game just keeps going and the run time goes up. So with Brookline leading by 10, we get ready to start the third inning. Ayer-She'han back on the mound. Here we go, starting off the top of the third, leading off for Ayer-Shirley, the relief pitcher, number 1, Torres. First pitch from Sheehan drops in low for ball 1. Torres led off the game with a strikeout back in the top of the first. Swing and a miss there on the low fastball. 1-1 now the count. That one going to hit the high outside corner for strike 2. Sheehan painting the corners with the last couple of pitches, went low and inside and then high and outside. And with this one, right down Broadway for strike 3. Sorry, allergies. One down, now batting the catcher, number 27, DeCudo. DeCudo, the only one with a base hit against Sheehan so far today, as he got the double down the third base line back in the top of the first. Got thrown out on the fielder's choice grounder as he didn't retreat back to second fast enough. Chases that one, got completely fooled by the breaking ball in the dirt for strike 2. That one inside, DeCudo barely able to dodge. And that'll be ball 1. Fastball fouled off. DeCudo stays alive at 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets by him. Strike 3. That is 7 Ks so far through 2 2/3 for Ayer-Sheehan. That fielder's choice at second base where DeCudo got thrown out, the only non-strikeout out that the Ayer-Shirley batters have had so far. And that grounder for that fielder's choice was hit by the current batter, the second baseman, number 4, Hudson, who's now got a 2-0 count after 2 inside balls. Now lines one over to short, juggled at short, recovered, long throw to first, sails, and Hudson is going to hold at first base, reaching on the E6. So Hudson, for the second plate appearance in a row, puts the ball in play at the shortstop. This time, Sawada not able to secure it. Kind of popped out of his glove as it was an awkwardly placed liner right at the edge of the infield dirt. And then after Sawada recovered it, kind of had to rush the throw and sailed it over Noah Klein's head. So a runner at first with 2 down here in the top of the third. At the plate, the starting pitcher, but now the center fielder, number 15, Carpentier. First pitch high for ball 1. That one going to drop low now for ball 2. Sheehan's got to be careful that his control not get away from him, as that's going to be a high ball 3. Sheehan did issue 2 back-to-back walks in the top of the second that allowed Ayer-Shirley to load the bases in that inning, although he rebounded nicely with a pair of strikeouts. And that pitch does hit the zone for strike 1. Carpentier, his last time up, went down on strikes to end the first inning. And tips that one for strike 2. Sheehan bouncing back, getting to a full count. But that one skips in the dirt, and that'll be ball 4. Third walk of the day issued by Sheehan at the hill. Now batting, the third baseman, number 16, Logan. Carpentier at first, Hudson at second. Ayer-Shirley trying to end the shutout and get on the board. First pitch gonna miss low for ball 1. Logan reached on an E4 his last time up, got all the way to third, but was left stranded. The attempted pickoff does not catch Hudson at second. That one is going to hit the zone for strike one. Swing and a miss there. Looked like a breaking ball inside, maybe a cut fastball. Strike two. 1-2, the count to Logan. Chases the low fastball, strike three. Ayer-Shirley once again rebounds and closes out the inning clean there. Deals out his 8th strikeout through 3 innings. We move to the bottom of the third with Brookline still leading Ayer-Shirley 10-0. And if there's one thing that the Brookline starting pitchers have proven capable of, it's getting strikeouts early in this season. Will Buchholz, the starter at Newton yesterday, got 8 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings pitched in what turned into a no decision for him. And now 8 strikeouts from Ayer-Shirley through 3. And after Sheehan was the last out in the second, it's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for Brookline in the bottom of the third. Klein, Liu, and Kaufman. Torres back on the mound for his second inning of work after taking over for Carpentier in the second inning. All right, looks like we're just about set to get the bottom of the third underway. Step into the plate for Brookline, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Klein so far today 1 for 1 with a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Slices the first pitch, foul, might be playable for Logan, but no, just over the fence and out of play. It'll simply be strike one. Hits a bouncer over to second, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 1. Well played by Hudson. You know, easy to dismiss as a quote-unquote routine ground ball, but we've seen some weird bouncers throughout this game, so I always say there's no such thing as a routine ground ball at this level. 1 out, now up the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu, as he takes a high ball 1 there. Liu so far today, 1 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and 3 RBI. As strike one hits the low outside corner there. Swing and a miss. Got fooled by the off speed, looked like. 1-2 the count to Lou as the ump takes a moment to brush off the plate. This Brookline team will be back in action on Monday, June 30th. We'll have that one live stream and then a bit of a break for the 4th of July holiday as that one skips low for ball 2. But then, of course, they'll be back in action. I think they're going to have 3 games in a row on July 8th, 9th, and 10th, the week after the holiday. I'm not sure if I'll be able to cover the game on the 9th because I have a doctor's appointment that day, but other than that, I'm planning to have everything covered. As this one, actually it's not Lou, it's Jonah Cohen, who pops it into an error by the shortstop, as Meneses could not close the glove around it. Jonah Cohen having subbed in left field for Lou, he reaches on the E6. So now with 1 out and 1 man on, up comes the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. And so with Brookline subbing out their cleanup hitter, and I didn't see any injuries to him or anything like that, it feels like, Brookline is a little bit taking their foot off the gas here with a double-digit lead. But Max Kaufman not stopping the gas here as he launches one out to left center, and the runners are off to the races. Kaufman down to second. He's going to try for third. No one's covering third, and Kaufman dives in safe with an RBI triple. Jonah Cohen in to score. Max Kaufman with what I believe was an RBI triple, might be scored by Game Changer as a double and then advancing on the throw, as Ayer-Shirley did not have third base properly covered there. But either way, drives in a run with a great shot there. Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo, as he takes an outside ball 1. And boy, you can call that one the announcer jinx, right? As I talk about Brookline taking their foot off the gas, Max Kaufman launches a missile out to left center and drives in Brookline's first run since that explosive first inning. Carballo with a 2-0 count. Carballo 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout so far today as he takes a high ball 3 there. 3-0 the count. Runner at third, 1 out. Brookline leading Ayer-Shirley 11-0. And swings and misses as took the rare green light on the 3-0 count there. Just saw kind of a juicy off-speed pitch hang in there. Tried to launch it, but whiffed on it. Slices this one high, going to stay in the infield. And Meneses able to get his glove around this one for out number 2. And we've got a pinch hitter now in place of Vankowski. It is number 50, Danny Carballo. First pitch in the zone for strike one. Carballo, who was Brookline's starting catcher yesterday, went 0 for 1 with a bases-loaded walk. Takes a high and inside ball one there. Still searching for his first hit of this 2025 summer season. That one low for ball two. Max Kaufman standing at third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Carballo slices one. That goes into the tree. And unplayable, strike two. 2-2 the count to Carballo. And that one got away from him there, ball three. So a full count, 2 outs, runner at third. And that one's going to hang on him again for ball four. So Danny Carballo with his second walk of the season. Trots down to first. And the catcher, Max Mnookin, will have to take off his pads so he can step to the plate here with runners at the corners and 2 down. Mnookin, so far today, 0 for 2. Grounded into what would have been a fielder's choice if not for throwing errors, and popped out to third. And he lines a shot out to left, and it's over the left fielder's head. Max Mnookin drives in Kaufman, heading down to second. Danny Carballo wheels around third. Max Mnookin with a 2-run double for his first hit of the summer. Seemed like it was slightly misplayed. Out in left, left fielder charged in for it initially and then had to retreat back. Mnookin, I think, trying to sub out for a courtesy runner. The problem is his courtesy runner last time was Jonah Cohen, who has since subbed in for Jonathan Liu. So I think they're going to send Liu out now as the courtesy runner. That is what they're going to do. Liu down to second to run for Mnookin, the catcher, as Brookline has extended its lead up to 13. And now batting, the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung, as he fouls off strike one there. Hellendrung, 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to short so far today. At the plate with runner at second and 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Slices one foul up the right field side for strike 2. That's a high ball one. And a hard grounder over to third, bounces off the third baseman's body, and everyone is going to reach safely. Game Changer might potentially score that one a single, as that was a hot bouncer over at the hot corner. You know, we'll see how they score it later tonight, but for now, the inning continues for the Brookline offense. Runners at the corners now as they cycle back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Sawada takes a high ball one there. Sawada so far today 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch and 2 runs scored. And he launches one out to left fielder tracking it, and he's got it. Wait, did he? Are they saying he dropped that? Or did he catch it? What's the ruling? He lost his footing as the ball was in his glove. And I think they're ruling that he bobbled and yeah, the ump is signaling that he bobbled and never got a full grip on it. It looks like the Ayer-Shirley coach is either challenging this or doing a mound visit. I think it's a mound visit. But that is actually going to bring in another run for Brookline. Bit confusing, but Sawada reaches on the E7. To me, no question on that one. That one should have been caught, popped in and out of the glove. Got to score that one an error. So no RBI and no base hit for Sawada that time, but does get down to second. Another run does come in. Brookline now up 14-0. And we've got another change on the mound, and I think another change at the plate coming up for Brookline. But for now, what we can see is Meneses is taking over on the mound for Torres, as Torres will go to short in a simple 1-to-1 swap. Jonathan Liu came in to score on that one. Helen Drung held up at third as the way everyone was just kind of like jogging along the base. It looked like they were waiting for the ump to signal that that was out and the inning was over, and the ump just never signaled that. And so everyone just kept moving and eventually resulted as runners at second and third, 1 run in, and the inning just continues. Not entirely sure, but I think Brookline is positioning it so that Eli Gowers will be pinch hitting for Caden Sheehan coming up, but I'm not entirely sure. Meneses taking over on the mound. As far as I know, the only mercy rule at this level is still 10 after 5. Still 2 down. As far as I know, this is Sheehan, but I'll wait and see what I can see. It's a high ball 1 on the first pitch. Game Changer showing that it's Sheehan, so I'm going to trust it. And this one launched deep out to left, deep out to center, and it's caught for out number 3, and that was Gowers. Game Changer just slow to recognize it. Gowers flies out to center. And that will be out number 3. Brookline puts 4 more runs on the board. There in the bottom of the third. Thanks to some big hits from Max Kaufman and Max Minukin, the Max squad getting things done on offense in the third inning there. Our score at the end of 3, Brookline 14, Ayer-Shirley 0. And during this break between the third and fourth innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the Foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Your help is crucial to supporting these Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, that's brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. You can find all that information in the description section down below. And Gowers not just subbing for Sheehan at the plate, but also on the mound. If he can get through the next 2 innings, giving up less than 5 runs to Ayer-Shirley, then that will end the ball game. But for now, stepping up to the plate, the latest relief pitcher for Ayer-Shirley, number 31, Meneses. Takes strike 1. Among the defensive changes, I saw Danny Carballo take a spot at third base. So that's a swing and a miss for strike 2. I believe Hellendrung has moved over to second in place of the subbed out Leo Vankowski. That one skips in the dirt for ball 1. Those are the only subs I know about at this moment. That one also drops low, ball 2. You know, it's an important thing for pitchers to remember. It's not enough to just get ahead in the count. You still got to finish and throw that last strike. Not on that pitch as it's high and inside, and it's all the way to a full count now. Meneses fighting back from an 0-2 count. This one's sliced up in the air in foul territory. Klein giving chase, but it's out of play. And the count remains full. And that one's going to skip away, and that is going to be ball 4. Gowers got off to a good start in that at bat, but then started losing control, ended up throwing 4 balls and issuing the leadoff walk. Now batting the first baseman, number 3, Tosi. Tosi himself drew a walk his last time up. Meneses taking off on the first pitch, had a huge leadoff from first, got a good jump and an easy steal there. Pitch itself, I believe, was a strike. But a runner in scoring position now for Ayer-Shirley as they are hoping to end the shutout. Swing and a miss there. I believe that is strike 2. Runner at second, nobody out here in the top of the 4th. And chops at that one desperately, strike 3. One out. Now batting, the left fielder, number 35, Carvalho. First pitch, I believe, is going to miss for ball 1. Well blocked by Mnookin. Carvalho, his last time up, drew a walk that loaded the bases back in the 2nd inning, but was left stranded. Takes strike 1 there. That's going to be a high ball 2. Runner taking off for third, and the pitch was wild either way as Meneses gets effectively a free pass to third. Now, he did take off before the pitch went wild, so that does still count as a second base for Meneses. And that there is going to count as an outside ball 4, and Carvalho, for the 2nd time today, gets a free pass down to first. Head coach John Busey and catcher Max Mnookin coming out to talk to Eli Gowers. You know, get him to settle down, focus in, and just throw strikes. You know, your team is up 14. There's no reason for you to be issuing walks here. You know, I know at this level that, you know, you still have to throw your hardest. But this is a very comfortable situation to just throw strikes and just see what happens. But there's never a good situation to lose control and keep issuing free passes. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Now batting the right, I guess now extra hitter, having subbed out of right field, it's Hebert. Runner takes off for second on a low ball, and he takes it uncontested. Hebert still showing bunt, pulls back, and it's a low ball 2. You know, as a pitcher at this level, you can't let yourself get psyched out by a batter showing bunt. You've got to throw it in the zone. Even if he is trying to, like, psych you out into throwing a bad pitch so he hits a bad bunt. But that's going to miss for a low ball 3. Gowers getting psyched out by Hebert showing bunt here and just missing everything low. Not that one, as that's a strike and a pickoff attempt at third, but the runner dives back safe. Savvy idea by Max Mnookin, but Meneses keeping his head about him and diving back. That one, another strike as Hebert could not get the bat on that one. A full count now as Gowers rebounding a bit, but still needs one more strike. And he will not get it. He'll throw one more ball and load the bases on his 3rd walk of the inning. This has been a problem for Brookline pitchers. Yesterday at Newton, they dealt 8 walks in the last 2 innings of the game, allowing Newton to come back and win. Now that one, instead of missing low, it misses high for ball 1. At the plate, the right fielder, number 15, Cotter. Bases juiced, 1 out. And that one gets away from the catcher, but the runners hold. It'll simply be ball 2. That one's going to miss low for ball 3. Again, you can't let your control get away from you. You got to just keep throwing strikes. I mean, you're in a situation where if you get a ground ball, you could end the inning. Throws that one down Broadway for strike 1 and literally just throw that exact pitch again. Even if he puts bat on ball, you know, let your defense make a play behind you. And that one's going to be popped up in foul territory. Mnookin given chase, but it's out of play. And we'll have ourselves another full count. Gewers missed on his last payoff pitch, dealing the walk to Hebert. What will he do with the payoff pitch here? Hits a bouncer up the middle, fielded by Sawada, flipped to second for 1, on to first is not in time, and a run will come in on the RBI fielder's choice from Cotter. Shutout comes to an end. Hebert out at second. Cotter safe at first. Meneses comes home. Runners at the corners now as we cycle back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 1, Torres. Another miss low from Gewers. See, but like even there, they got 1 run back, but you got the second out. You're still well within mercy rule range. As Cotter takes off for second, swing and a miss for the strike. They can't get the throw down in time. And so Cotter down to second. Runners at second and third here with 2 down. 1-1 the count to Torres. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts so far today. And he hits a high bouncer over to second, fielded by Hellendrung. Throw to first is wild, and 2 more runs are going to come in for Ayer-Shirley on the E4. Tough one there as Brookline seemed to have the 3rd out of the inning dead to rights on that one, but instead just 2 runs away from giving up their mercy rule position. That's going to be strike 1 to DeCudo. 2 down runner at second. And that pitch going to get away from the catcher, and Torres easily trots down to third. It's been a tough inning for Gewers, but can still end it with just 1 more pitch. Well, certainly 1 more after that one. Count, I believe, is 1-2. That one's going to miss. 2-2 now. Good coverage by Mnookin that time to prevent the wild pitch. That one hits the inside corner for strike 3. Bit of a shaky inning for the Brookline defense, but ultimately they hold on to a double-digit lead. 3 more outs and they could get that mercy rule win in 5. And they have a chance to add to the lead here. In the bottom of the 4th. Due up will be Klein, Klein, Cohen, and Kaufman, unless there are any more substitutions. So Ayer-Shirley sticking with Meneses on the mound after he took over for Torres last inning. Brookline sticking with Klein at the plate. Klein so far today 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Grounded out to second his last time up as he takes an outside ball 1. That one is going to catch the outside corner for strike 1. And that one also catches that outside corner for strike 2. That one misses outside ball 2. I think I heard one of the Ayer-Shirley fielders try and make the sound of a strike call themselves. But would not manifest on that pitch or this pitch either, as that's going to be ball 3. It's a full count now to Klein. And Klein lifts one out to center, but Carpentier back there to make the catch for out number 1. One of those classic cases of good contact, but not the right spot. You know, a little bit more towards right field on that one. That one's bouncing through the gap to the wall for extra bases. But in that case, just a fly out. Now batting is the left fielder, number 27, Jonah Cohen. Swings and misses at strike 1 there. That one gonna miss for ball 1. Cohen 0 for 1 so far today, having reached on an E6 and scored. I think he's actually scored twice because he scored once as a courtesy runner for Mnookin earlier in the game. So 0 for 1 with 2 runs scored. Strange stat line. As he takes a high ball 3 there. But hey, that's just what happens when you're a courtesy runner and a backup outfielder. Swing and a miss, strike 2. They've battled their way to a full count here. And Cohen fouls that one off to stay alive. We got a note in the live chat from Jeffrey Melton saying, "Way to go, Brookline. Have a great summer season." As that one gets past Cohen for strike 3. And of course, Avery Melton, an alum of this Brookline summer team and of the Brookline high school baseball team, and a current member of the Bard University baseball team, and has been helping out as an assistant coach for this Brookline Blues squad this summer. At the plate for Brookline, center fielder number 8, Max Kaufman, takes 2 high pitches for a 2-0 count. That one just catches the high corner, strike 1. That one outside for ball 3. Kaufman, of course, his last time up, launched an RBI triple and then came in to score as part of that 3rd inning rally. And chased that one a little high, but fouled it off. Strike 2, and we got another full count here. And Kaufman chasing low this time, but the defensive swing keeps him alive as he got a piece of it. Kaufman lines one over the first baseman, drops in fair territory in right field. Kaufman around first, headed down to second. Max Kaufman, a home run short of the cycle now with a 2-out double to right. What a day for Max Kaufman, 3 for 4 with a single, a double, and a triple. And a wild pitch, and Kaufman just going to hang back and stay at second. That will be ball 1 to Tony Carballo. That one's going to be a high ball 2. Carballo, his last time up, popped out to short. 0 for 2 of the walk so far today. That's in there for strike 1. 2-1 the count, 2 down, runner at second here in the bottom of the 4th. That's going to be a high ball 3. And Carballo lifts one high and deep out to left. Left fielder on his horse in foul territory. Cannot catch it, but it falls in foul territory. Almost a great hit, almost a great catch. But in the end, neither side gets what they want, and it simply goes down as strike two. Another full count here. We're starting to run out of sunlight out here at Warren Field, as that's a wild pitch and a hard ricochet back to the catcher, prevents an advance from Kaufman, but Carballo himself will advance to first on the walk. Now batting the third baseman, number 50, Danny Carballo. Delayed swing, fouls that one off, strike one. Danny Carballo subbed in for Leo Vankowski last inning, drew a walk, and later came in to score. Runners at first and second, 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Big swing and a miss there, strike two. Remember, all Brookline has to do is hold on to a double-digit lead at the end of the fifth inning, and they automatically win the game. That's going to be a high ball one. So if Brookline fails to score this inning, then they have to hold Ayer-Shirley to 1 or 0 runs in the top of the fifth to end the game. That one catches the inside corner, and Carballo goes down on strikes. That will end the bottom of the fourth inning. Ayer-Shirley down to their last chance here. If they manage to score 2 or more runs this in this half inning, then we will go to at least the bottom of the fifth, as Brookline would have a chance to try and retake that double-digit lead and trigger the mercy rule. All of that, of course, assuming that they don't call this game due to darkness, as we are starting to test those limits out here. Part of that is just how cloudy and overcast it's been. I can't imagine them calling it just 2 hours after the scheduled start time of the game. This game was supposed to start at 5:45, started, I think, about 8 minutes late, so not that bad. And so far, the game still hasn't even gone 2 hours yet. Either way, Eli Gowers back on the mound. Had a bit of a shaky first inning out of the bullpen, giving up 3 runs. Only one of them earned, but still. First pitch is lifted out to left, and that's going to drop in fair territory up the no, it's in foul territory. Bit of a delayed call on that one, but it is fouled off for strike one. At the plate for Ayer-Shirley is the second baseman, number 4, Hudson. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for Ayer-Shirley here, as Hudson chases that one low for strike two. So it'll be Hudson, Carpentier, and Logan. Doesn't chase that one as it skips in the dirt for ball one. Hudson grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. His second time up reached on an E6. So 0 for 2, but got on base every time so far. That one's going to miss for ball two. And that's going to skip in the dirt. Gowers starting to have some trouble with his control again. He issued 3 walks out of the first 4 batters he faced back in the 4th inning. But this time gets a grounder, fielded over at third by Carballo. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. Nice play at the hot corner by Danny Carballo to get the first out of the inning. Like I always say, no such thing as a routine ground ball at this level. And he fielded that one well over at the hot corner. Now batting the center fielder, number 15, Carpentier, swings and misses for strike 1. Carpentier went down on strikes his first time up, drew a walk his second time. So 0 for 1 with a walk, as that one's going to miss low and away for ball 1. This one sliced in the air, tracked by Klein at first for out number 2. Gowers keeping his control much better in this inning so far. Brookline 1 out away from the Mercy Rule win. At the plate, the third baseman, number 16, Logan. First pitch from Gowers comes in low for ball 1. And he lifts this one to the outfield, called for by Kaufman, and that is your ball game. Brookline stands tall on offense in their home opener and takes care of business for their first win of the season. The final score in 5 innings, Brookline 14, Ayer-Shirley 3. Mayfield-Sheehan getting the win on the mound after pitching more than half of the 5-inning game, going 3 shutout innings and striking out 8 batters to account for 8 of the 9 outs that he got. In his first pitching outing for this team in a couple of years, as I don't believe he got any pitching outings last summer. Sheehan delivers, and really the offense delivered in such a big way for Brookline. A lot of big hits for the home team today. They exploded for 10 runs in the first, added 4 more in the third. And a nice feeling for Brookline to bounce back from yesterday's loss. And they will be back in action on Monday at home against Lowell, back here at Warren Field at 5:45 p.m. on Monday. We'll have that one covered live on this channel, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for this game, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of my upcoming live streams this summer. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video where you can find the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. You can also find some links related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score after 5, Brookline 14, Ayer-Shirley 3. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.